Good evening, everyone. We have 9 judges on the agenda tonight, so before we get started, if I could ask all the judges to stand for a moment while counsel makes her way to administer the oath before we start your testimony tonight.
Do you solemnly swear under the penalties of perjury that the statements you make and the testimony you give before this committee will be the truth and nothing but the truth? I do. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And first up to the podium, we have our Senator King to introduce her constituent, Chief Administrative Law Judge Chung Pak.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members of the committee, it's my pleasure tonight to introduce and recommend to the committee Chung Pak, a resident of Gaithersburg in the 39th Legislative District. And I have so few nominations here, I'm just excited to be able to introduce somebody from my district. The Honorable Chung Pak has served as the Chief Administrative Law Judge in Maryland's Office of Administrative Hearings since July of 2020. In this role, he has directed all operations of the office, managing a budget of over $20 million, with 117 employees, including 55 administrative law judges. During his time, the office has achieved and maintained over a 99% timeliness rate for issuing decisions, despite a significant increase in cases and a 50% turnover in experienced judges due to promotions and retirements. He also oversaw the modernization of hearing processes, resulting in at least a 30% reduction in the default failure to appear rate and increasing access to justice. Chung Pak's resume reflects his many years of experience with the law and the lengthy list of awards and honors that he has received. He has been an active advocate for many groups, and I have personally witnessed his advocacy in Montgomery County and throughout the state for many, many years. Whatever is the event, Chung Pak is always there. He shows up for Montgomery County. Given Chung Pak's knowledge, experience, and recognized results, I strongly endorse his nomination to continue as Chief Administrative Law Judge. Thank you. Come on up.
Good evening. Thank you, Senator King and Chairman Benjamin Brooks, Vice Chairman Anthony Muse, and Senate President Bill Ferguson, and Senate Executive Nomination Committee members. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. I'd also like to thank Governor Westmore for appointing me as a Chief Administrative Law Judge. I am grateful and honored to be reappointed for a second term and look forward to continuing to work for the citizens of Maryland to ensure that they receive prompt, accessible, and efficient due process. At this time, I'm happy to answer any questions committee members might have. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Zucker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I want to second that nomination of Judge Pak. He and I have known each other for maybe 26 years. To think that he's known me since I was 1 is amazing. But in all honesty, really couldn't think of a better person for that position to continue in service to the state. And it's an honor to see you here today, sir. Thank you.
Senator McCray.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to say I haven't known Judge Pak for 26 years, but I would like to say that he's always served honorable, but more importantly, he runs a tight ship. So I appreciate the way your agency run and how your staff and the leadership is running the agency over there.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions? Seeing none? Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we're going to have a judge for the District Court of Maryland, District 1. Senator Attar sent a letter that I'll read. And Chairman, Vice Chair, and honorable members of the Executive Nominations Committee, it is my pleasure to present the nomination of Judge Katie M. O'Hara for confirmation as Associated Judge of the District Court of Maryland for Baltimore City. Judge O'Hara has served on the district court bench since 2016 and has demonstrated a strong commitment to fairness, professionalism, and the rule of law. Prior to her appointment to the bench, she served for many years as an assistant state's attorney in Baltimore City. Her career reflects a deep dedication to public service and to the people of Baltimore City. Judge O'Hara is also a resident of the 41st District, and I am proud to support her renomination. I respectfully ask the committee for a favorable report on her confirmation. Okay, Judge, you can come up now.
Thank you, and good afternoon. So thank you to Senator Tarr for that letter and that recommendation. It's much appreciated. Thank you to the members of the Executive Nominations Committee. I am, of course, thrilled to be here this afternoon, and I want to express my sincere gratitude to Governor Moore for the opportunity to continue serving the citizens of Maryland, the citizens of Baltimore City, for another term. I remain extremely grateful as well to Governor Larry Hogan for the initial appointment in 2016. It has been my honor to serve as a district court judge in Baltimore City, and I look forward to continuing if permitted, and I welcome any questions. Thank you.
All right, do we have any questions for the judge? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, we have next the judge of the District Court of Maryland, District 1, Baltimore City, and I, Senator Tarr, sent the letter, and I will read that one as well. Chairman, Vice Chair, and honorable members of the Executive Nominations Committee, I'm pleased to present the nomination of Judge Nicole Ergeton-Taylor for confirmation as Associate Judge of the District Court of Maryland for Baltimore City. Judge Taylor has served on the District Court since 2016 and has carried out her responsibilities with integrity, fairness, and a strong respect for the law. Before joining the bench, she built a well-rounded legal career that included serving as an assistant public defender in Baltimore City and running her own law practice. Her career reflects a long-standing commitment to justice and public service in Baltimore City, and I am proud to support her renomination. I respectfully ask that the committee for a favorable report on her confirmation. Thank you, Senator Tarr. Judge, you can come up.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for hearing me tonight. I want to thank Governor Moore for the trust he's placed in me with the reappointment, and also thank Governor Hogan again for his initial trust 10 years ago. I really enjoy serving as a district court judge. It's challenging but fun, and I hope that you guys consider your recommendation. I thank you for your thoughtful consideration. I'm just grateful for the trust that's been placed in me and my colleagues that stand with me, and for the purpose that guides my work. Thank you. Do you guys have any questions?
Do we have any
That's
questions?
what I like to hear. I like
Seeing
to hear
none?
silence.
Thanks, Judge. Next is the judge of the District Court of Maryland, District 8, Baltimore County, a reappointment to serve a term of 10 years. Senator Edelman? I thought I saw her, maybe.
She was here. She's right there. Oh, okay, she's coming.
Oh, I see her, okay.
Thank you. I'm a little confused because it says District 42 here.
District 11.
Is Lisa Phelps here?
I am.
Okay.
But Senator West.
Right. So Senator West. Oh, okay. Sorry. My confusion. I am very happy to be here to introduce Judge Keith Payan. He is has a wealth of experience, having served in the state's attorney's office in Baltimore County for many, many years. He, even though today is the first time we have met, we spoke a few weeks ago, and he told me how much he really, really enjoys this job. His As you will see from his CV, he has a wealth of experience. He served in the Air Force and the Judge Advocate General program, and then, as I said, many years in the State's Attorney's Office in Baltimore County. But one of the fascinating things that I think is really says a lot about him, he majored in anthropology and Italian. And he has advanced course study in the concentration in advanced animal physiology, which leads me to believe he is a very well-rounded person, interested in a lot of things, which I believe would serve him incredibly well and serve the people of Maryland well in his service on the bench. A bit of a Renaissance man, perhaps. So without further ado, Judge Keith Payan.
Thank you. I am not going to do it in Italian. Thank you, Senator Hedelman. Thank you very much. Chairman Brooks, Senate President Ferguson, all of the committee members, thank you very much for being here this evening. I will keep this brief. I will just say the last 10 years have moved rapidly. I have been tremendously proud of the work that I have done over those past 10 years. I would be deeply honored to be reconfirmed for another 10 years. It has been an amazing experience. And so I just want to open it up to any questions. And once again, thank you for your consideration.
Thanks, Judge. Do we have any questions? Seeing none? Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, Senator.
All right, our next nominee is the judge of the District Court of Maryland, District 1, Senator Hayes.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Mr. Senate President, members of the Senate Executive Nominations Committee. I'm Senator Antonio Hayes, representing the 40th Legislative District in Baltimore City, and I am proud to reintroduce to you the Honorable Michael Studdard. Judge Studdard is a resident of 40th District for more than 26 years, prosecutor for the City of Baltimore for 21 years, active member of all bar associations, and an alumni of the University of Maryland Law School. He's been a public servant junkie for most of his time here in Maryland, and he's up for the second time for confirmation for the same position. He is going to be serving his second 10-year term as a judge in the lower district courts in Maryland. Colleagues, I'm proud to bring to you my good friend and a resident of the 40th District, Judge Michael Studdard.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Senate President Ferguson, members of the committee. I am Michael Studdard. I have been a public service since graduating law school at the University of Maryland Law School in 1994, first as a prosecutor in the Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office, where I went from district court to trying multi-defendant wiretaps. I've been active in all the bar associations, active in my community, and I'm just looking forward to serving the citizens of Baltimore and the state of Maryland for another 10 years. I will gladly take any questions.
Do we have any questions? Seeing none? Thanks, Judge. Thank you. All right. The next nominee is Judge of the District Court of Maryland, District 3, Judge Clara Campbell. And we do have a letter from Senator Hersey. And it reads, "Dear Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the committee, I am in full support of Judge Clara E. Campbell, reappointment nominee for District 3, Cecil County District Court. With a legal career spanning nearly 4 decades, including 21 years as a law partner and a decade as a lead trial attorney, Judge Campbell brings an unmatched depth of experience and a proven record of excellence to the 3rd District. Since her appointment by Governor Hogan in 2016, She has demonstrated extraordinary leadership, guiding Cecil County through the implementation of MDEC and the unprecedented challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic with steadfast resilience. Her commitment to efficiency is evidenced by her court achievement, achieving the highest compliance rate for case flow management in the entire state this past year, despite managing the district heaviest caseload. Judge Campbell's unique background in local government and property development, combined with her dedication to fostering a collaborative judicial environment, ensures the continued stability and high standards of justice our community deserves.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Senator Benjamin Brooks, and senators and members of this committee. I appreciate your consideration of my reapplication. I might add, too, that during the period of time that Cecil County was able to reach the highest compliance, I had no other sitting judge. So we had visiting judges. There's only 2 of us, and we really need 3. So it was quite a challenge. So I went from electronic filing, MDEC, when I very first started, like within the month, to COVID, to we're having renovations now in the building for a 3rd courtroom, and to having worked without a second judge until approximately April of this year. So I appreciate your consideration of my application. I appreciate the correspondence that he filed. I want to thank Governor Hogan, who appointed me initially, and thank Governor Moore as well. Is there any questions that you have of me before you close? Okay.
Do we have any questions? Seeing
Thank you very
none?
much. Appreciate your consideration.
Okay. Okay, our next nominee is Judge Dino Flores, Jr., okay, and Judge for the District Court of Maryland, District 11. And, all right, I do have a script here, Executive Noms. Committee, I am pleased to present the nomination of Judge Dino Flores, Jr. on behalf of Senator Karen Lewis Young, who could not be here tonight. Judge Flores is a reappointment to the District Court in Frederick County. Before joining the bench in 2016, his career included decades of experience as an attorney, including service as a public defender and a prosecutor with several years in private practice. I believe Judge Flores is uniquely qualified to continue his service on the District Court. With that, Judge Flores, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Certainly. Mr. President, Mr. Chair, Senators of the committee, thank you very much for time this evening. I'm here today. I'm very glad that my boss, Chief Judge Morrissey, is back here, and he promised not to say anything about me, which is a good turn for me. My hype man, Senator Folden, unfortunately, is still stuck voting, which is what he's paid to do. I do recognize Senator Reddy, who I've known for a number of years. I've been in Frederick County since 1995, having grown up in Montgomery County, and coming to Frederick County was the best decision of my legal career. I've been a prosecutor, public defender, and private attorney. I love my job in the District Court for Frederick County. We have a wonderful jurisdiction, and all of my colleagues will confirm the best job in the judiciary is District Court judge. So I'd be honored if you all will allow me to keep doing what I'm doing. And thanks to Governor Hogan for appointing me and Governor Moore for giving me this opportunity. Any questions, I'm happy to answer those.
Senator Reedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to second the nomination. Judge Flores has done an outstanding job in Frederick County on a number of levels, and just looking forward to hopefully having him continue providing excellent service to the citizens of Frederick County. So he has my full support.
Thank you, Senator. Any other questions? Seeing none. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
All right, our next nominee will be Natalie Ahn, Inspector General for Education appointment to serve the remaining term of a 5-year from July 1, 2025. And your senator is still in committee, so, in session, so yeah, we won't be able to, so just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm glad in that case that I prepared some remarks for you all today. Good evening, Mr. Chair, Mr. President, and all of the members of the committee. I want to thank you for the opportunity to provide brief comments here today. And I've got to give a big thanks to Governor Moore, the Attorney General, Anthony Brown, and Treasurer Derek Davis for nominating me unanimously to this really important position. I also want to thank my husband, my friends, my current colleagues and boss, and former colleagues who all came out here to support me tonight. Most of them haven't seen me since I got into a car accident on Route 50 on the way home from Annapolis 2.5 weeks ago that caused these injuries. And they probably just showed up here to make sure I'm in one piece. Kidding. But I do think they're here because they know how deeply I care about improving the systems that serve our community. They've seen my passion at work and share my hope about the good that can be done in the Inspector General role for education. So I want to thank everybody for being here. Inspector Generals often get a bad rap. It's said that the people working within the systems don't want an oversight body looking over their shoulder, and the people outside of the system don't have the trust that Inspector Generals will actually do anything about the reported issues. Now, what I'm about to say is bold, but I stand firmly behind these words. I'm here because I'm uniquely positioned to change that. If appointed, my vision and intention for the Office of the Inspector General for Education is to investigate systemic issues, publish transparent findings, and work collaboratively to find solutions with the shared goal of improving schools and ensuring that our tax dollars are used in ways that do one thing, and that's improve the systems that we all rely on. How will I do this, you might ask? Hi, Senator. So bear with me here. This may sound a little folksy, but I'm going somewhere with this. There's a Japanese practice called kintsugi that I've come across in my recovery since my car accident. And it's a practice where broken pottery is repaired, not with glue, but with a gold or silver lacquer to highlight instead of hide the broken areas. The idea is to preserve the history of the object carefully and meticulously, put those pieces back together, and highlight the cracks instead of hide them. And the point of this is so that the imperfection is embraced and the pottery is reinforced to make it stronger. My professional experience, 20 years of civil, criminal, and internal investigations work as a prosecutor, private attorney, and an in-house attorney in and outside of government, coupled with my personal experience as a mother to 4 children in our public schools, including my youngest with significant special needs, gives me the unique ability to approach this role as a form of kintsugi. If I'm fortunate enough to be appointed, my goal is to deeply understand where there may be cracks in the system so we can highlight them and make our school systems stronger. At home, my middle schooler, who hopefully is watching, she said she would, has a different vision for the job, primarily making sure schools assign less homework. But I've tried to explain to her that that's a little beyond my jurisdiction. So with that, I would be happy to take any questions, and thank you again.
All right, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I just want to say thank you for putting your name in. And we had a wonderful conversation last week. And I know you've been through quite the trauma over the last few weeks trying to recover from this. And so I appreciate your flexibility in being here today. I just want to say you pointed out the challenge very well of where inspector generals can sometimes go astray versus be such incredible advocates for people. And I really look forward to working with you. I think that you have the temperament and the experience and the knowledge to really make a big difference in an issue that really matters. And that's how our education dollars are spent, and spent effectively in a way that is thoughtful and isn't used as a bludgeoning tool, is used to improve practice. And so I just want to second your nomination and appreciate you joining the team on this front.
I deeply appreciate those words, Senator. Thank you.
Okay, Senator Sidnor.
Thank you. And good evening, and sorry for my delay. I was in JPR with, I guess, your senator. But I did have some questions. I have not had an opportunity to meet you. But I do have a little bit of experience in Baltimore County, where we have school board members that like to use inspector generals as a political tool. And I'm wondering, how do you smoke out real complaints of fraud, waste, and abuse versus complaints where people are just attempting to be nasty and political?
That's a great question, and thank you, Senator, and an important one, especially in an office that's going to get, and currently does get, a large number of complaints. My experience in investigations has shown me that what you need to do is establish a tiered risk-based system of evaluating complaints so that your resources are spent where the most risk is. And that risk needs to be evaluated by the credibility of the complaint, the amount of information that you've gotten from that complaint, and then you can prioritize your complaints accordingly if you've established that process.
Could a public official who attempted to politicize and use your office claiming fraud, waste, and abuse actually then be looked at as, if your office then went ahead and did an investigation and found that it was nothing there, could they actually then be looked at for fraud, waste, and abuse themselves because they then misused your office?
Yeah, you know, I think the answer is the annoying lawyer answer, which is it depends, right? And I think it depends, one, on which public official that is. My office has limited jurisdiction, and so I would have to see if that investigation is within my jurisdiction. If it's not, then that would need to be referred to the appropriate auditing or investigative or legislative authority to be looked into, and I would certainly refer that if appropriate.
Are you aware of how many MOUs this office currently has with different LEAs across the state?
I don't have the exact number. I am aware of a specific few where there are MOUs in place to provide certain local inspector generals sort of the right of first refusal. I am working hand in hand with the current sitting inspector general to get a better understanding of those MOUs, the processes that are in place, et cetera.
Right, and I don't know if the chair is intended on voting, or the body's voting on you tonight, but I would certainly love to have an opportunity to sit down and speak with you individually.
I would welcome that and love that opportunity. Thank you.
Senator Carrozza.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good evening.
Good evening.
I too regret, Ms. Ahn, that we didn't have the opportunity to meet before tonight's hearing. I believe that this is one of the most important appointments that the governor can make, any governor. And when we talk about education, the future for our youth, the unprecedented amount of spending in education at every level, where we are with the blueprint, the challenges we're having with the blueprint, this role is absolutely critical. I have two questions for you, and I probably would also like the courtesy of a follow-up meeting. You mentioned that you're going to focus, that what makes you uniquely qualified is you're going to focus on systemic looking at systemic issues and challenges, so I'd like to hear a little bit more about that. And number two, can you give some examples of the work of your predecessor that he started that you think should continue? Be interested in that as well.
Thank you. Great question. I'll address the first one, which is about my vision for investigating systemic issues. My experience inside state government, inside a large school system, is that it is the rare occasion that a single act of grand misconduct is what's causing systemic problems with our children. It typically is an inefficiency or a crack in a system that really just needs to be looked at so that we can diagnose the problem. So I really look at the role of Inspector General as a diagnostic tool instead of a prosecutorial tool. Of course, if criminal conduct is discovered, then that will be dutifully referred to the state's attorney's office or the appropriate law enforcement body. But what I want to do is make things better for our children. And investigations can do that. Investigations are a great tool. If you have the authority, the subpoena power, the ability to look into where those failures or those cracks exist, then you can diagnose the problem to come up with a solution. And I also want to be involved in the solution. I don't want my investigations to end with a sustained finding or a not sustained finding. I'd like to partner with school districts. One of my strengths is really operationalizing the law and making it work for large systems. And so I'd love to partner with systems and say, can I partner with you to prepare SOPs, standard operating procedures? Can I partner with you to create templates, to introduce you to appropriate parties? Because I've heard this school system is doing this thing and it's really working for them. Because my interest is in improving, not just penalizing. Can you repeat your second question for me?
Yes, I wanted you to give some examples of the work of your predecessor, some highlights there, and what you would continue.
Look, the work of Inspector General Rick Henry is top to bottom. He established the office. He's done great things to expand the office, and it wouldn't be what it is today without him, and I want to honor that foundation that he prepared. What I'd like to expand upon is those systemic investigations. I think that individualized investigations that are seeking misconduct can often be handled at a local level because there are local bodies that can investigate sort of quote unquote personnel issues. I, of course, will investigate those if they come my way and when they come my way. But I would really like to focus the limited resources of the office on those bigger systemic problems. And those can often stem from individual investigations. So if you're looking into misconduct of one person, you may then find a systemic flaw somewhere. And I want to build on that investigation to perhaps open up another one so that we can see how we got to that misconduct in the first place so we can avoid it happening in the future.
One follow-up, Mr. Chair? One follow-up question?
Yes, Senator, go ahead.
Thank you. Just going back to, because you said there were individual investigations in the past, you're looking to see that, you want to kind of take it to maybe the next level with the systemic. Are you indicating that you might go back and look at some of these investigations to see if there were systemic issues that should be addressed?
I don't think I have an honest answer for that right now. I think my intention is to go into this office, spend the first 30 days to learn as much as I possibly can. I think it would be too early for me to make a judgment like that as to whether I would want to do something with regards to a prior investigation or not. I simply I don't know what's there, what's been turned over, or how we got to the results. So, I want to be able to go in there and do the right thing. Let's look at the facts and then figure out what our next steps are.
Fair enough.
Mr. Vice Chair, and thank you so much for meeting with me earlier this afternoon. And we had a great discussion about a number of issues. I think I have a question for you that we talked about. Just want to put it on the record, but then also maybe a second question that we didn't necessarily touch on. Number one, I agree with my colleague. I think this is one of the sort of maybe sneakily one of the most important appointments there is. Not just because it's about the future of our children, which is really important, but also from a fiscal standpoint, so much of our state's taxpayers' money out of the budget goes to public education. There has to be confidence that people are watching out for how the money is being spent and that we're getting the results that we need. And you and I talked about how the AIB board has some of that oversight, and then obviously from your perspective and from what you would be doing as IG, the watching MSDE. It's been raised in the press about whether there's a conflict of interest because you were in Montgomery County. It sounds like you did good work in Montgomery County, so nothing to be critical of. But can you talk about how there could be a potential conflict of interest or how that would be handled and what that process is like?
Absolutely. Thank you for that question. And it's an important question. I think that in these roles, it's important to always, when you get a case in, examine your conflicts. It's the first thing you would do as a lawyer. It's the first thing you should do as an inspector general. And I intend, if I have the opportunity to be appointed to this position, to, if not already establish a very public and transparent conflicts policy so that the public will know how I'm evaluating conflicts of certain cases. I think conflicts, when you're a parent to students in a school system, in public school, could always come up in any investigation, even if they didn't come from Montgomery County. I think I gave you this example when we spoke, that if there were to be a sort of grade-changing investigation, but that policy stemmed from a statewide mandate, this is total hypothetical, that if I was currently challenging one of my students' grades, that even if that challenge came from Baltimore County, for instance, or Frederick County, then I would still probably conflict myself out because I would have a personal stake in that outcome. And so that's the type of analysis that would be conducted regardless of the county that the complaint comes from. And so, I would love to see the current conflicts policy that's in place. If there's not a public one in place, I'd like to build on it and make it public because it's incredibly important for the public to have trust in the Inspector General. I mean, most of our tax money goes there. So I want to make sure that the public feels good about the work that we're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And would you have to conflict yourself simply because something came from Montgomery County?
No, I would not. Right. Of course, there is a Montgomery County Inspector General, and I believe there's a current MOU in place where they have sort of the right of first refusal to those investigations anyway. But there are plenty of issues from Montgomery County that could come my way that I would be more than qualified and not conflicted to handle. I left the school system about 6 years ago, so I don't think any of my current work, or any of my past work would come up in a current complaint, but if it did, I would surely recuse myself and send it to another investigative body.
Okay, I think I wanted to ask those questions because some of those were specific examples that had been talked about, so I thought it would be good for you to have a chance to respond. And then finally, just a second and final question would be, you talked about the current IG who's leaving. Can we have confidence that on things that he has spotlighted that are still ongoing in investigations, that you'll continue those investigations? That it's not going to be something that all of a sudden we've decided to go away from?
I will absolutely take a look at every individual case to determine the next steps to move forward and not make any blanket decisions on a partisan or nonpartisan basis. I will look at the facts, and that is how I will make those decisions.
Okay. Thank you very much for your answers, Mr. Chairman or Mr. Vice Chair. Thank you.
Any other questions? Then thank you very much for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Have a good evening.
I'm going to go back up to number 5 at this point. That's Senator West, and I'm sorry we were all downstairs. What was a voting session. Lisa Ann Phelps for Judge of the District Court of Maryland, District 8, Baltimore County, being reappointed for 10 years. So would you introduce?
with us this evening?
Is she here?
Oh.
Okay.
Stand right.
I'm sorry,
This is not going to be
mic.
long. Okay. It's a pleasure to introduce the Honorable Judge Lisa Ann Phelps to the body. Judge Phelps graduated from Temple University in 1992. She majored in criminal justice. She was a magna cum laude graduate and a Phi Beta Kappa. She went on the University of Baltimore School of Law, where she graduated cum laude in 2000. She was an assistant state's attorney for a number of years, 2001 to 2016, and then she was appointed to the District Court of Maryland, where she has served with distinction for the past 10 years. It's a pleasure to introduce to you Lisa Ann Phelps.
Thank you and welcome.
Good evening. I appreciate your time on this beautiful, sunny, 70-plus degree day. I want to thank Mr. Vice Chair, President Ferguson. I want to thank Governor Hogan for my initial appointment in 2016, and I want to thank Governor Moore for his continued faith in me. And I have served the last 10 years. I can't believe it's been 10 years. I have loved every minute of it. I am honored to serve the citizens of Baltimore County, and I would be supremely honored and grateful for your vote of confidence in allowing me to serve for 10 more years. Thank you.
Any questions?
Oh, I'm sorry. Questions?
No, any questions? Okay. Seeing none, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, Robin, we're going to go to number 27. Number seven, that's what I thought. I'm sorry, we're going to go to number 7. I talk very quietly, as everyone here knows. Robin Ennis Riddle, Judge of the District Court, Maryland, District 4, Calvert County, and Senator Harris?
Yep.
There you are. Okay.
Bam. Great evening, everyone. Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the Executive Nomination Committee. For the record, Senator Kevin M. Harris, representing Legislative District 27, which is Prince George's, Charles, and Calvert County, here to recommend the reappointment of Robin Riddle to be the District Court Judge in Calvert County. Judge Riddle has been on the bench since 2020. She is a graduate of the University of Baltimore Law School. She has prior service in the St. Mary's and Calvert County State's Attorney's Office, along with a resume of important positions that have distinguished her as a skilled legal profession. Judge Riddle's qualifications speak for themselves, and with her experience in mind, I present Judge Riddle for the committee's approval, and thank you, Mr. Chair.
Good evening, everyone. Chairman Ferguson and, Vice Chair Muse and President Ferguson. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. I just want to correct one thing. I've been on the bench since 2016. Governor Hogan appointed me initially. I had a split position between St. Mary's and Calvert counties. St. Mary's got a second judge, and so I'm permanently in Calvert. It is an absolute privilege to serve the people of this state and especially the people of Calvert County. I enjoy it very much. I thank Governor Moore for reappointing me and Governor Hogan for initially appointing me. I would be truly honored to continue serving the people in this capacity as a district court judge. And I have to echo my colleagues in saying this is absolutely the best judicial job you could ever have. Certainly. Any questions? I'm happy.
Thank you very much. And,
No.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Judge Riddle, thank you for underscoring serving the people. And it's heartwarming to hear that because I think the general public, they're sometimes a little intimidated by judges. And then you're reappointed for another 10 years and you sometimes worry about that distance of, do judges really know what's going on, in our communities, in our neighborhoods? So, with the reappointment of 10 years, do you ever think about, that connection with the public?
I believe that I am very connected with the public, especially at this level, at the district court level. We see many people that come in pro se, they don't have counsel with them, and you have to strike that balance between kind of guiding them through the process, but not giving them legal advice, not helping one side or the other. But I think that we do actually see people in their most pure form. We see them when they are struggling with what life has thrown at them. We see them more often when they're in conflict than otherwise. I like to think that my life experiences and my legal experiences allow me to assist them, and while keeping in mind that we are serving the community as a whole. So we have to keep our community safe. We all want a safe community, but we also want to make sure that those people that are in that moment of crisis believe that we were fair to them when they walk out, and that we give them the assistance that we're able to.
Thank you.
In the district court. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Senator Sidnor?
Just a quick question. You were a court commissioner while you were in law school?
I was in Prince George's County. I grew up in Prince George's and moved to Calvert when I was a very young person in 1988. And, but I was a commissioner before that, and that was a great preparatory role for what I do now.
The law school didn't try to dissuade you from doing that?
Law school, balancing the full-time work in the law school was a little bit, but I'm glad I did it, and it was a good experience, and I think it made me stronger, as they say.
Never would have thought of doing that. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
What part of Prince George's County did you live in?
Who asked me that question?
Or was it somebody else? What part?
Oh, there we go. Well, all right. So when I was born in Scotland, when we came back, my dad was in the Navy. We went to the small little town that my parents grew up in, and that's Capitol Heights. And I spent my formative years there. We moved to Fort Washington when I was 12, and I spent the rest of the time in Fort Washington.
Thank you very much. Are there any other questions? Thank you for coming. Okay, let's go to number 10, Senator James and Keith Dwayne Dickens, Commissioner of Corrections. And okay.
Oh, good evening, Chairman Muse, and members of the Executive Nominations Committee. Pleasure to be here. Senator Mary Delaney James, Harford County. I'm delighted to be introducing to you all someone I think you may know already, Mr. Keith Dickens, who is being appointed to the commission as the Commissioner of Corrections. He's currently the acting commissioner, right? And you've been there in that position since November. Just to be brief, if you look at his career, basically after high school, he went into the Department of Corrections and has worked in almost every position there: captain, major facilities, chief of security, deputy director, director of security, deputy commissioner, and now ultimately the top job here is commissioner. He's a delight to have to work with. He's a wonderful person from my district, and without further ado, I just introduce him to you, and I hope you will give him a favorable vote on his nomination. Thank you very much.
Good evening, President Ferguson, Vice Chair Muse. It is a pleasure to be in front of this committee and an honor to be considered for an appointment. Thank you, Senator Delaney James. I would like to thank my wife, my family, my co-workers who've come here this evening to support me. I'm humbled and deeply appreciative of Governor Moore, Secretary Scruggs, Secretary Byron for having the faith and confidence in me to take on this mission, and I am happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? Senator Rosa, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Deputy Commissioner Dickens, first of all, I want to thank you for your service. You know, when I see that pretty much you kind of came up, you know, on a leadership track here. And so you've seen the challenges. And my question to you is kind of looking forward, but also maybe knowing what's going on now. You know, I represent ECI, so a lot of the correctional officers and the whole, you know, support team live in my district. And we know, I mean, kind of going back to when I worked for Governor Ehrlich, we have had challenges on the workforce shortage side. You know, what do we need to do to keep our numbers up with correctional officers, to keep the facility and our community safe. At the same time, we know that there are instances where, one or two correctional officers, bad actors, go astray. It also has a very damaging effect overall to recruitment, retention. So my question to you is, how are you going to balance all of that?
Thank you for that question. First and foremost, working with our executive director of IID, they hired, I can't remember how many staff members, but their tasks, sent to our facilities. They're conducting investigations and looking for those bad apples, as you say. What I am also very happy to state is that last year we hired 88 correctional officers on the Eastern Shore. We just had a class graduate on the last week. It was 17 officers. We have another class that's going to that starts on the 4th, and it's 30 officers. We continue with the signing bonus of $5,000 and also $2,500 for anyone who is hired in that area as well. Had a conversation with the warden. With the increase in the staff, and it definitely boosts morale. The IIs, or incarcerated individuals, are actually happy that there are extra staff there and they're able to get out and do more activities.
And on the that's on the recruitment side. On the retention side, what is your vision?
To continue with our job fairs and increase staffing. We have I'm sorry, and I didn't.
My concern is those correctional officers that are starting to hit the 12 to 15 year mark,
Yes,
and it's been a tough haul for them. And how do we? And they're the ones with the experience, and they're the ones that should be mentoring the young ones coming in. How do we keep them for the long haul, the ones that are already serving but are at that point where they may not stay?
Thank you for that. I think that is something that we need to continue to work with our, I can't speak about any monies or anything like that, just in the incentives for those officers. But I think that with the hiring of additional staff, which reduces the amount of overtime, fatigue, I think that when we incorporate those things, that we will be able to retain our staff.
And I agree with you. As you bring on new people, it's taking the pressure off the ones that are there. But I just also sometimes think if those correctional officers that have, are reaching that mark, and sometimes it's not all about money. It's about recognition and respect and, maybe other non-monetary incentives. So I appreciate, maybe some follow-up afterwards, but I really appreciate your service to our state. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, Senator Hershey is not here, but I do want to introduce Mr. Matthew Hogan. Would you? He did send a letter of support, and I'll read a part of it. He says, I'm in full support of Matthew Hogan for the Uninsured Employers Fund Board, an individual whose career blends professional excellence with a strong commitment to Maryland's civic life. Currently serving as the chairman of the board for Big Maryland, BIG Maryland. Mr. Hogan's possessed a mastery of the insurance industry that is matched only by his extensive history of public service. From his decades of leadership on the Chesapeake College Board of Trustees and the Chesapeake College Foundation Board, to his impactful tenure with the Chester River Hospital Center Foundation and as president of the Kent County Rotary. He has consistently demonstrated a dedication to the economic and physical well-being of our community. His unique ability to navigate complex regulatory landscapes while prioritizing the protection of Maryland's workforce makes him an exemplary candidate for this role. Thank you very much for coming. And
thank you. And good evening to everyone. I'd like to thank everyone for the opportunity to serve the state of Maryland and the UEF board. I would also like to thank Senator Hershey, Chairman Brooks, the vice chairman, and the Senate President Ferguson, thank you, and to the rest of the nominating committee. And also, I can't forget Governor Moore for this appointment. And I am open to any questions.
Any questions? Yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Hogan's, thank you for serving. Have you been to a UEF meeting yet?
I have not. No, I have
Okay.
not.
You have some work to do, but thank you for serving.
No, I understand that I do. Yeah, I've already talked to a few
I want you to go
people.
with your eyes wide open.
Thank you. Thank you.
My good senator.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair, and thank you for serving. And I know you're eminently qualified and will do a good job. I think our the senator from Anne Arundel County, their chair of our finance committee, just alluded to this. But just to put a little more meat on the bones, we've basically been waiting for a report from the Uninsured Employers Fund director dealing with whether or not there should be a third-party administrator for paying claims. It's been over a year we've been waiting. And just this last week, the subcommittee and the Budget and Tax Committee that oversees it was having a hearing, and the acting director didn't come. And so it left a lot of people wondering what's happening. Now, that's not your fault. You're being appointed. So we're glad we're putting somebody good on the board, but it does seem like there are some severe challenges. I wonder if you, because it looks like the Budget Committee, the Department of Legislative Services is recommending to withholding money from UEF until that report gets here.
I read that same report.
Oh, yeah.
I read that yesterday afternoon.
I would only ask you to comment just what your feelings are about it, not holding you accountable, obviously, because you're brand new.
Well, I think as one of the board members, I am accountable. And I will be accountable. I can assure you that I'm going to look into why that TPA, and I understand what we're paying them or what they're being paid. I'm going to look at, that's the first order of business. I'm going to find out how they're paying claims, how the TPA is paying claims, and if there's an alternate or a better way to do that. That expense, we might be able to mitigate that expense by interviewing someone else or putting folks in place to handle those jobs, interview properly and handle those jobs so those claims get paid and that process is smoother and less expensive. But again, I've only read the report, the same report that you've read.
Understood.
So
No, I
I
totally
haven't had the
understand.
opportunity to dig into it,
I
but I
appreciate
can
it.
assure you that I will.
Yeah, because it may be that the third-party thing it may be that what we're doing is the best way, but it's just that not getting these reports back in a timely way is
May not be
frustrating
the
for
best
us as
third party.
policy. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I do support your nomination.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Do we have any more questions? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All righty, seeing none?
Thank you.
All right, well, this concludes the public hearing for tonight. Any questions or discussion from the committee before we entertain a motion for approval of tonight's nominees? Okay, seeing that, okay. Seeing that, may I get a motion? All in favor?
Senator Reedy, wait.
Oh,
I
Senator
was just going
Reedy.
to ask if I could separate one out for a vote, for just an individual vote. Number 11.
Number 11. We got the list of number 11. Oh, number on this list? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Okay.
Can you make the motion, Mr.
Make the
Vice
motion.
Chair?
Make the motion to separate number 11.
Make the motion,
move to separate number 11 for a separate vote.
just for a
Yeah,
separate vote,
separate vote, yeah.
to still be held tonight,
That's, yes.
to be held tonight. All right. I make the motion that we take a vote on every one, except number 11.
Okay, all right. All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Okay, opposed? None. Okay, all righty.
On
Okay,
number 11,
on number 11, so, okay.
on number 11, Okay, get ready to vote. Are there comments? Go right ahead.
We'll do a roll call.
Yes. But it's just, okay. Okay, it's been moved and we seconded that. I seconded. Okay.
Okay.
That we would move forward with the vote of number 11.
All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? 2 opposed, okay. Three opposed, okay. All right, thank you. Yeah. Motion to adjourn?
Yep.
Okay,